Stephen, how's the injury?
Yeah, I'm on track for a New Year's comeback. Hopefully be involved against Hull, if not the FA Cup. They're me targets. That's what I've penciled in. But yeah, the injury's settled down really well, and I'm out jogging, doing bits and bobs, and I'm stepping it up each day.
So what's the plan for you over Christmas?
Work hard, rehab, in every day, working hard to try and get back as quick as possible. I suppose everyone out there thinks I'm going to have a Christmas off, but that won't be the case. I'll be working hard to try and get back as soon as I can.
What ambitions then do you still have, and are they achievable in the coming year?
Yeah, I think we keep to the ambitions and the targets we had at the beginning of the season, which is to break into the top four and try and add a trophy. They were the plans. We went out to the Carling Cup, or the League Cup. So we want to have a good run in the FA Cup, and we want to finish in the top four. That doesn't change just because we're sitting, pretty in the league. If we find ourselves in first, second, third, fourth, fifth or sixth, our ambitions don't change. It's to break into that top four. If we better that, then fantastic.
Has your feeling changed at all, though? Do you see yourselves as in that title race? Do you feel that this is a side that's capable of pushing on for that?
I think we're title contenders and in the title race. If we're in the title race with 10 games to go, I don't get carried away, or I don't change targets, or raise expectations around this city just because we've started the season very strong and we're in amongst it in November and December. To be in a title race, you've got to be there when there's 10 games to go with a realistic challenge of winning it. But I do have confidence and belief in my teammates that we're capable of surprising a few people this season.
How would you compare the side now then to the sides that you played under Rafa Benitez and Gerrard Houllier that obviously were involved in title races?
It's difficult to compare the teams and the different managers. We are playing a different way now under Brendan, but what I will say is this side is as good as some of the teams I've played in. It's difficult to say whether it's the best team or better than the teams that I've played in under Rafa or Gerrard Houllier, because the players are different, the styles are different. But we're playing in a very good team at the moment, a hungry team with a good mixture of youth and experience. And I think when you've got hungry players who want to succeed and deliver, you've got a better chance of winning things.
What's Brendan done for the club?
I think he's brought his own way in of playing, which suits the Liverpool style, which is passing and moving with tempo, giving good angles for each other and trying to pass sides to death. And I think that's what we're doing at home. I think we've made Anfield a fortress this side, and people are not going to enjoy coming to Anfield because we're passing it so well and the fans are behind us and enjoying this style that we're playing. I think at Tottenham we made a statement that we're ready to improve our away form and try and find a better level of consistency away from home, and if we get that, I think we're going to surprise a few this season.
A lot of the focus was on Spurs after that game. Was that unfair on Liverpool? Did you get the credit you deserve for that performance?
Yeah, I think we did, because I think everyone I've spoke to since that game, and Jamie and Graham Souness, who I'd done the punditry with at the game, and people texting me after the game were raving about Liverpool's performance, and rightly so. I thought it was our best away performance probably since Man U, the 4-1 game. I'd say it was that good. Every player on the pitch done the job properly, and man of the match could have went anywhere around the side, and that's when you've got close to the perfect performance. We made Spurs look bad. Spurs had good players and a strong side out there. Yeah, they had a couple of injuries, but so did we. But we made them look so bad. They never had a shot on goal because we defended so well, and the game could have been a lot more than 5-0 because we attacked so well. And I think what Brendan's been trying to bring in over the last 18 months happened on that day. But the challenge now is, can we try and get close to that with every performance?
Any concerns that Luis Suarez won't give up the armband now after that performance?
Oh, you'd be giving it up, don't worry about that. He knows. But I think what he did do is put a statement in, when the captaincy does become available in the near future. He's certainly put his name down to take it on a permanent basis if he wants to stay around. I know I'm not going to be captain forever. We'll have to pass it on, in the near future. So I think he's certainly staked a claim for the captaincy. Why not?
I know you spoke about qualifying for the Champions League and how important that is to keeping Luis Suarez at the club. Are the goalposts shifting slightly with talk of this possible new deal for him, do you think, if he were to sign a new 5-year contract?
I think that's a question you'd have to ask Louis. I don't know what his plans are, you know, what his targets are, what he sees himself, what he sees his family doing. I don't know. What I can tell you is he's very happy, he's enjoying training, and he's certainly enjoying his football. You can see it in his performances. I think on current form he's the best player in the world. I think because Messi's out injured and Ronaldo's had a bit of an injury of late, he's the best player in the world as we speak right now. And he's certainly the best striker out there. I think he's proven that with his goals to minutes ratio, and obviously we love having him here. And during the summer when there was talk of him going, I didn't want that, and no one wanted it. Everyone connected to the club wants him to stay, and that's what we all done, tried to keep him here. And when he was so happy and he was training on his own, if you look at the way he is now, the contrast's unbelievable. He looks as if he's really enjoying coming in day to day, and he looks like he wants to be here for a long time. But you'll have to ask Luis Suarez that question, how long he's going to be here. Only he knows that.
Is he the best player you've played with then?
Yeah.
What is it that sets him apart?
Haven't you been watching him lately?
I have. I want to know what you think.
I think his consistency levels on a daily basis in training, he's relentless, he doesn't give up, he's a warrior, he fights, he doesn't like losing. Add that to an amazing talent, skill, and one of the best finishers out there. I think that explains why he's the best player I've played with.
Liverpool greats stay at the club for a long time. Potentially, where could he be in that list?
Well, I think if he stayed from now till the end of his career, he could certainly go to number one, of course, talent-wise, and if he obviously keeps producing like he has done this season and since he signed, of course he can go to number one. But I think if someone comes for 2 or 3 years and then leaves, I think it's very difficult to move your likes of Souness's and Hansons and Dalglish's and Carragher's and players like that who've been here for many, many years and proved it consistently and won big trophies and produced on the big stage. I don't think he'd move any of them unless he stayed and give his whole career to the club.
Obviously, if we get into the business end of the season as well, you go for a Champions League place, going for the title even as well. There'd be no chance of you giving him a whack just ahead of the World Cup either in training, would there?
No, there won't, because obviously I need him to produce the goods for Liverpool, and I think when the World Cup draw was named, obviously the first thing that comes to mind was Suarez in Game 2 and what we're going to do to try and stop him and keep him quiet. But we'll worry about that when it comes along. For me, I just hope he stays in form and stays free of injury till the end of the season, because you know he's key to what we achieved this season.
When you look at that World Cup draw, do you have to get a result against Italy?
Not necessarily, because you could lose against Italy and win the other two and still go through, but do you have a better chance if you get the result against Italy? Of course you do, and I think it's a 50-50 game. The conditions are not going to suit either team, it's going to be very difficult. But if we avoid defeat in that first game, I think it sets us up nicely to get out of the group, and that's got to be the first challenge. Do
you feel there's less pressure on this England side, less expectation? That could be an advantage?
I don't think I've ever played in an England game where there hasn't been expectation and pressure. So when the World Cup comes around, I'm sure it's going to be exactly the same. But I think people do realise what this team is capable of and what it's not capable of. And I think the unrealistic expectation and pressure has gone, which I think will help the team. I think to go into a World Cup with people having realistic, ambitions for the team is more fair.
I mean, there's been some argument put forward to throw in youngsters to give them tournament experience to build for the future, almost doing away with the old guard. What do you think when you hear things like that?
I think everyone's entitled to their opinion. Do I agree with that opinion? No, I don't. I think you go into a World Cup and a tournament with your best team and your best players available, and that gives you obviously a better chance of doing well there. Do I agree with giving young players opportunities in friendly games and in qualifiers and in World Cups if they're good enough? Yeah, of course I do, because it'll help the team moving forward. But you've got to go into a World Cup with your best team that's available.
Will you look to stay in the international setup beyond the World Cup as well?
I don't know.
Is that something you've got to weigh on?
I think it's something I'll assess after the tournament. I'll speak to their manager, and I'll speak to my family and important people in the game. People who I trust, who I know will give me the right feedback and the right advice, and then I'll make a decision. I think it'd be very stupid of me now to make a decision now, 6 months before the World Cup.
And from a club perspective, is it your idea to still be a one-club man, or would you look to maybe move on if needed? Would you even look to prolong your career by moving to the MLS or something like that?
I think it depends. I think it depends on what the club's plans are for me, what Brendan's plans are for me, and what I want to do. But for now, I'm happy. I'm enjoying my football. You know, I'm at the stage now where I'm adapting my game slightly, and I'm sure I'll be adapting it even more the more we move forward. So if I'm here and I'm still enjoying it and the manager wants me, I'd like to finish my career here. But you know, if something happens where, you know, I fall out of contention or someone else comes along and takes my place and I stop enjoying it, then if I still feel I can offer someone else something somewhere else, of course I'd consider it. But at the time being, I can see myself seeing it out here.
Further afield, thoughts of management here, even?
I don't know. I'd have to be good enough, first of all. I don't think you ever take a managerial job just because what you've done as a player. I think you'd have to learn the game, and I know I've got a good knowledge of the game, but you know, being a good manager is a different kettle of fish. It's a tough job, and maybe, who knows, one day further down the line, but it's not priority for me at the moment, the next couple of years on the pitches.
Couple of final things. A while ago it was unthinkable that United could have gone so long without winning a title. You could say the same for Liverpool at the moment. What kind of an impact has that had on the club?
Well, I think the impact's on the supporters, because, you know, they're the people who are hurting because it's been so long, and, you know, it's our responsibility to try and end that hurt, if you like, and that's what we've been trying to do over the years, and we've come close on a couple of occasions. But you know, the fans are knowledgeable, they're clever, they know that it's a very difficult league to win, they know we're moving forward, we're improving all the time, and it's only a matter of time before it comes back. But you know, we all need to keep pushing really hard because we have got a fantastic chance this year.
With that in mind as well, then, is Champions League qualification the bare minimum that's needed to continue that progress this season?
Well, I think if we were to finish outside the top four, I think it would be a disappointing season. I think the talent we've got in the squad and the way we've started, we've set ourselves up with a magnificent chance to finish in the top four position. So if we were to let that slip and finish outside, everyone would be very disappointed. So I think that the key to us is to finish inside the top four positions, and it helps the club financially to bring better players in, which obviously gives you the better chance of ending that long spell without the league.
I mean, could you foresee a double? I mean, do you dream of a double this year? Maybe a league title and a World Cup?
Steady, Vin.
That's me getting carried away.
Yeah, we take each game as it comes. Is it impossible? No, it's not. Is it realistic? Probably not at the moment. But we keep taking each game as it comes and see where we are when it comes round to March, April. You know, if we're still involved in the FA Cup and we're in a healthy position in the league, why not?
Given, I know you're injured at the moment, but over the past couple of years, that's not necessarily been the case. You've had a good run.
I've had a fantastic run under Brendan. I think, besides, you know, missing a couple at the end of the season, having minor shoulder surgery, it's the first game I haven't been available at Tottenham for Brendan. So I've had a magnificent run. Touch wood, I can come back and have a similar run.
What's he done for you then, the manager, just finally?
He's been great for me. I think the timing of him coming in and where I am at my career, I think he's perfect for me. You know, he's already talking to me daily on adapting my game and what he expects from me in his system, and I've been doing, you know, reasonably well for him, and I'm sure I can for a few more years.
Enjoying it as much as ever?
I am, yeah. It's good, yeah. I obviously realise my age now, and I'm at a stage in my career where I need to try and enjoy it as much as I can, because I know how quick the seasons go by, and before I know it, I'll be hanging them up.